Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. This is the 300th coffee session for those of you who are keeping track. And I see I went and fixed my my little Stream Deck button, and it looks like it's working because I see it put one of my automated things over there, so that's good. Anyhow, good morning. Hope you got your coffee with you. I've got a little friend here with me today, and I don't mean Jack and my coffee, although they are good friends indeed. I thought I'd bring in one of my little mater plants here and show you. You can see I've got my custom container, good old solo cup. But this is one of many that I have. This is a bodacious hybrid tomato. Seed was started in a seeding tray March 1st, so here it is, 30 days. And all I got to do is keep it alive for about another 3 weeks and I'll be good. But I've got, of that particular one, the bodacious hybrid, I've got, I think, 22 of those. And they're all roughly about that same size, some bigger, some maybe a little smaller. And then I've got 29, I think, of the steak sandwich hybrid, which I'll bring one of those in maybe tomorrow and show you. But yeah, they're doing pretty good. Like I said, if I can just keep them alive for 3 more weeks, because man, I watched the weather this morning and we're fixing to have, I mean, it's cooler now. We got cooler weather right now, but I guess we've got some rain coming Wednesday, another front, and then after that, it's going to get, down in the 30s again. So no way these are going out in the garden yet. It's nothing out in the garden. It's just sitting there, ready to go. And I've got a big table full of reds, actually double red solo cups, because what I do is I take the top one here. I can't really show it without, you can see the little water dripping, but the inside one has 3 holes drilled in the bottom of it. And yeah, doing good. Let's see, what else was I gonna tell you today? I got a bit of good news yesterday. Turns out there are a couple of good things about getting old. One is when I got my, they send you things out in the mail for you get your tag registration. I don't know how all states do it. I think some states are a little different, but you have what I always called the birthday tax, where you have to go take your car and get an emissions test. And you got to have it done by your birthday and all that stuff. So I always called it the birthday tax. But anyway, when I got my thing in the mail the other day, I opened it up and I read something, and it said something about a senior exemption. And so, if you're an older senior person and have an older vehicle, I forget what the date was, but and you drive it less than 3,000 miles. There was like 3 things. You got to be 65, which I will be on my next birthday when my tag expires. Have a vehicle that's older. I can't remember. I think it's older than 2011 or something. And my Explorer is like a 2000. and you got to drive it less than 3,000. And I bet you I don't even put 500 miles on that thing, because it's just basically a spare car. I get in, I crank it up, and I drive it to the UPS store once in a while just to make sure it stays running. The rest of the time, I'm always in my truck. In my truck, I don't have to get the emissions test because it's over 8,500 pounds. So it's considered, I guess, it's considered a farm vehicle or something. So anyway, I went online and I did the approval thing, or not the approval thing, the application. And I got an email yesterday saying that I was approved. So I'm now exempt from, or at least my old Explorer is exempt from having to go get that stupid emissions test, which is good. Because like I said, it seems silly to have to pay $25 for emission test for a car that I drive maybe 300 or 400 or 500 miles a year. So pretty happy about that. Now, before I get going any farther, I guess I better catch up with the comments. I see who's here. Got Steve in Toronto's here. Another Steve. Got Steve Gronsky here. Says he missed a couple of sessions. Okay, that's all right. You won't get the perfect attendance ribbon, but that's okay. Wilson Rubottom is here. Good morning, sir. Kevin Els is here, just like always. Jesse from JJ Woodshop. Troy Pritchard's here. There's my little message I was talking about. I'm glad to see those are working again. That's good. Bruce Foley's here. Good morning, Bruce. Diana Carpenter's over there on the Facebook. How you doing? Shouldn't you be out walking somewhere? Private joke. She knows what I'm talking about. My favorite solar guy right here, Mr. Ballard. Paul Stewart's in the house. Sandy is here this morning. How you doing, Sandy? Hadn't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Gary Hammett is here. David Burnett. Man, we got a pretty good little crowd here for a Tuesday. LB Sharp's here. How you doing? Ryan says the plant looks good. Yeah, I don't really know how big it's supposed to be, but and I hadn't fertilized it. I've got some fertilizer on the way. So I ordered that from hosstools.com, which is a great website. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I'm just telling you. So if you got a small garden type thing, or even a big garden, they make all kinds of. They're kind of famous for their what do they call them? The wheel hoe. I guess I'm saying it backwards. They have a single wheel hoe, a double wheel hoe, and then a arch. What do they call that thing? Something arch wheel hoe. But anyway, they have all kinds of seeds. They have really grown. They're like a big. Well, I guess they're still considered small, I guess, but they have. I saw a video the other day where they were doing a tour of their building. They just added a new building, so they're really growing. So that's good. And they're in South Georgia, so I like them because they're from Georgia. Bob Sims from across the pond is here. How you doing, Bob? Paul Stewart says 300. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. It's been 300 of those things. Mr. Greg Hamilton, how you doing, sir? Good to see you on the coffee sessions. Hope everything's well in Conyers. Bart says, good morning. Nice mater. Keeps that green thumb. Well, I don't know if it's green or not. It's, like I said, I still got to keep them alive for about three plus weeks to get them in the ground. Marcello Ballone's here. Good morning. Charles Steed. Let's see if I miss anybody. There's my Doug Sisk, my roving reporter guy. Good morning, sir. Hope you're enjoying your spring break. Let's see, George Rothfuss is here. Good morning, George. Gary Hammett says, happy 300. Yeah. CNC is here. Let's see. It says jerky marinating to go in the dehydrator. All right. What kind of dehydrator? What brand dehydrator do you have? Sandy says, is it too late to plant tomatoes? I was going to try to grow them this summer. Well, I started mine from seeds in little starting trays. Now, if you're wanting to just, get tomato plants, and I'm going to tell you, I've heard there's, you go to the stores, there's some already out there, but don't get them yet because you can't put them in. Well, you can put them in the ground, but you need to wait till after the last frost. It's too early to plant tomato plants in the ground, at least. And I'm assuming, Sandy, you're in the same place I am because I think you're in Atlanta, around Atlanta somewhere. So yeah, our average last frost date, according to the Farmer's Almanac, is April 12th, and YouTube was buffering over there. But I'm planning on probably going by the Farmer's Almanac, and it says if you go by that date, it'd be April 26th. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go somewhere near that date. I may go a little bit earlier, probably, because that's all like on a Monday. I'll probably do like somewhere around the 19th to the 23rd. And of course, I will again watch the weather forecast to make sure that there's not another cold snap coming in. But and by the way, if you want one of these, let me know. You can come get one, because, well, I just went crazy seeding, because I don't have near enough room to put all of these that I have grown. I'm going to be giving away to neighbors and anybody that wants them once they get ready to plant. But it's going to be at least another 3 weeks before I even think about putting them in the ground. Doug said he's got a Nesco, a cheap Walmart brand. Okay. Diane Carpenter says in Indiana, probably after Mother's Day. Yeah. I don't really know all the other zones and last frost dates and all that. I only worry about what mine is. So, but I would guess that's probably about right. There's Mother's Day. Is it May the 2nd? I can't read or maybe it's the 9th. I can't read that calendar from here. Let me look on my little calendar thing here. Let's see what it says here, if I can see. Yeah, Mother's Day is the 9th. So that's probably about right, I would guess, for Indiana. Doug says plant your root vegetables first and then by the sign of the moon. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you're in Ackworth. Yeah, Sandy, just keep watching the coffee sessions because, like I said, another 3 weeks or so, these should be, a lot bigger, and you can have them. You can have some if you want one. Now, these, I will tell you now, the two types that I have done. This is a bodacious hybrid, and the other one, I'll bring one of those maybe tomorrow and show you. They look about the same, but it's a steak sandwich hybrid. Both of mine are indeterminate tomatoes, which means they don't go to a specific size. They will just keep going and going and going until the frost or the weather kills them. So if you keep them pruned, keep the lower stuff pruned on them, and give them something to, I say climb on, but they don't really climb. You'll have to take like a little zip tie or something to help support them, but they will just go up and up and up. And they will keep putting out tomatoes, like I said, until the weather says, we're done. Unlike the determinate brand or type of tomato, which is only going to, get so big. And then when it starts putting out the tomatoes, they're all going to come within a certain amount of time. And when they're done, they're done. That's it. So Dave Max watching from Moab. Good deal. Diane Cartner says she loves fried green tomatoes. I know a place that makes them too. Yeah, they'll need to be hardened off before setting in the garden. But it's going to be easy for me to do that because my deck is right outside my back door. And these are right next to my back door on a table. So I'll be about a week before I get ready to put them in, I'll start sticking them outside start hardening them in a little bit. Use tobacco twine. Is that like jute? Is that the same thing as jute twine? Because I got a roll of that. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know, Sandy. Like I said, just keep poking your head in here in the coffee sessions, and when they're ready, I'll let you know or send you a Facebook message or something. Come get you 2 or 3 or 6 of them. Because I'm a kid and I got plenty of them. Yeah, Doug says yes, same as jute. But yeah, it's like I said, I'm really excited to get the garden going, but I'm trying to be patient because especially when you have a nice sunny day, and you're like, it's so warm, but it's not time yet. It's just not time. So I don't see my buddy Janet here. I was going to ask her about the NASCAR thing. I did end up watching most of that yesterday. The mud thing at Bristol that they did. I wasn't that crazy about it personally. And they already announced about towards the end of that race, they've already made an announcement that the spring race at Bristol next year will be on dirt just like it was this year. So I don't know. I wasn't that crazy about it. If I want to go see a dirt race, I'll go to a dirt track. But I wasn't that crazy about it. Especially when something it was funny to me because when something would happen, I'd go, "Oh, we got to spin in turn 3 or whatever," and then they show that camera, and you couldn't see it because it was all this big cloud of dust. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. But hey, if you're heading over near the Suez Canal, I hear you can get through there now. I haven't been following that real close, but I don't know how many days that big old container ship was stuck in there. I got an article up here now. Let's see if I can. So it's 1,400 foot long cargo ship jammed diagonally. Now, how did that happen, I wonder? Somebody fall asleep at the wheel there or something? I did hear on one of the news things that there was like 20,000, I think they said, containers on that thing. Here's a picture of it here. And when you start trying to count them, I'm like, man, there's a lot of them. But 20,000, that's a lot of metal containers. That's a lot of cheap Chinese stuff heading this way. That's all I can say. But yeah, I guess they finally used some tugboats or I don't know what, got it turned around or got it busted loose. And I just heard a little while ago on the news before I came in here, it said that now that it's free and other ships can start going, they said it may take a week to get the backlog through there. I don't know. I guess maybe this. I don't know how big it is, but it looks like maybe they got to just go through there one at a time or something. Um, Doug says Captain was into the cap. Oh, yeah, he was into the Captain Morgan. That could be. Bob says they reckon the wind caught it. I don't know. Seems like it would take an awful lot of wind to move that sucker, because it, especially if somebody's paying attention, holding on to the wheel. But yeah, that was crazy. 20,000 containers. I just can't even imagine what that would look like. Always wonder. What do we got here? Bob's got a fun fact here. Bob's Tuesday fun fact. Let's see. It says on this day in 1867, the Alaska Purchase, U.S. buys Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million, $109 million in 2018, roughly 2 cents an acre. 2 cents an acre. Wow. Wonder why Russia sold it. They must have thought there was something wrong with it. How they wouldn't give it to us that cheap. Well, it says the canal is not 400 feet wide. Yeah, well, you're not. Somebody needs to tell the captain you're not supposed to do a drifting through there. You're supposed to go straight on through. Steve says, I heard the full moon got it loose. I don't know. Man, speaking of moon, the last 2 mornings, I sleep with my blinds open because I like the sunshine popping in. That's my alarm clock. Well, really, I get up before then, but man, the last 2 mornings I rolled over and I'm like, man, what is it? A spotlight or something? And the moon is out there just off to the, let's see, that'd be, I guess, south, maybe a little bit west. And just shining right in my window, right on me. And so I asked, I can't say it because she'll hear me, the Alexa. I asked her if it was a full moon, and she said no, it was full moon on the 28th, which was 2 days ago. Yeah. And it was a waning moon, she called it. So, but man, I think it was bright. I guess it's just because the sky was clear. And on Sunday, I think it was overcast, so I didn't see it when it was a full moon. But man, I mean, it was bright shining in there. It's like you had a light on in there. Let's see, Paul says, they said that the ship is about 4 football fields wide. Let's see, a football field is what, 60 yards wide, I think. That's pretty good ways. And as long as the Empire State Building. Diana said it was a super moon. Okay. It was bright. I know that. Like an iron spotlight shining in on me. But let's see. That's about all I got. I'll bring some of my other stuff. I'll do a plan a day here. This, like I said, this is the Bodacious hybrid. Tomorrow I'll bring a steak sandwich hybrid. And like I said, they look pretty much the same as those. Probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. In fact, you see, I didn't show you my fancy label. I got my masking tape labeling system so that I can not forget which one is which. I'm trying to, I'm trying to be organized and kind of keep records on when I do stuff, what works, what doesn't work. Um, and, and then because if I get something that puts out a whole bunch of tomatoes and I get another one that doesn't do so great, I want to know which one's which so that I know what to plant. But I wish I had tried. I wish instead of putting a whole bunch of these and a whole bunch of that other one, I wish I had um, just planted like two or three of a bunch of different varieties, and I'm going to do that next year. So, yeah, I see my little things popping up here. My little messages. Looks like I got that working. So, yeah, that's good. Kind of looks like a pot plant, Dave. Well, it don't smell like one. I was watering them this morning, and I noticed as I was watering them, you can start to smell it's smelling tomatoey, like her. It's got that tomato plant smell. Now, I don't think maybe if I learn all this gardening stuff, if they ever make it where you can grow pot down here, I'll grow some, and then I can be rich because I know there's a big market for it down here, uh, as there is pretty much everywhere these days. But nah, just tomato plants for me right now. All right. Okay, Bob's got another comment here. Let's see what he says here. The Ever Given, that was the name of the container ship, operated by a Taiwanese shipping company. Evergreen Marine is a golden class container ship launched in 2018. It's 400 meters, 1,312 feet long, with a width of 59 meters, 194 feet. It's a big one. That's for sure. It's a big one. Doug says try Epsom salt tablet in the hole when you plant some. I'd have to get some of those. Um, yeah, there's no license required for tomato plants. Uh, anyway, I've seen a lot of people, Doug, and maybe you've heard this before. I've seen a lot of people that will. In fact, there's one gardener in particular that I watch on YouTube a lot, and she will take an egg, one of her fresh farm eggs, her farm fresh eggs, whichever way you say it, and throw it in the bottom of the hole, and throw it hard enough to make sure it cracks it and busts it open, and then plants her tomato plants over that. Um, so all kinds of different things. But I have heard the Epsom salt thing. I've heard what's the other thing? Tums, I think it is. Somebody said if it's got a certain deficiency, you can put Tums in it and it will help it. Something like that. But I bought some fertilizer. It should be here in a day or two. It's already shipped according to them, and like I said, they're inside. Although the last time when I ordered a bunch of seeds from them, and I do have some more seeds, maybe I'll show you all those um, one day. Um, they're in South Georgia, right? About like 2 counties above the state line where Florida is. But I noticed when my stuff shipped the last time, it went from there to Jacksonville, Florida, and then back up. So I thought that was kind of weird. Yeah, coffee grounds are pretty good. Pieces of fish, I've heard that, although that's kind of stinky. They do sell that fish emulsion liquid stuff that smells like nasty pond water. Um, yeah, it neutralizes the acidity. Sandy says, have you ever done cherry tomatoes? I have not, but I've got some seeds ordered, but I don't know that I'll put them in this time because I kind of got a late start on that. But I got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just trying a little here and there. I've got let's see how many I got, 11 or 12 of my cucumbers that are in the same red solo cups, and they're doing well. And then I've got some my banana peppers. I've got 3 of those that are already big enough that I've moved into the solo cups, and then I've got about a dozen more that, because out of the 3 that I have already in the solo cups, I had planted like, I forget how many, six I think, and some of those didn't germinate, and so I went ahead and put the other 3 into the solo cup, and then I set that tray aside, and then the next thing I know, several days later, I looked and I'm like, well, they're finally starting to come up. So I don't know whether they'll make anything or not. But anyway, I planted about a dozen more. They're all coming up. They're under the grow lights right now, so I'll be potting those in a little bit too. Anyway, it's past time. I got to get out of here. Got work to do. I know y'all do too. But I appreciate you come hanging out with me for the coffee sessions. And we will do this again tomorrow. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. See y'all.